Hey guys, it's Liv here, and today we're going to be playing some Almost Any Ability to show why some of these Pokemon, such as Inteleon and Zarude, really need ability buffs. If you guys enjoy this video and you want to see more like it covering other metas, I would love to do that on the channel, so leave a like in the video and subscribe for more content just like this, leading up to, of course, the Scarlet and Violet thing. And with that said, today's team is built around Zarude and Talonflame, with Grassy Zarude and Magikarp Talonflame. We also feature other Pokemon that I pulled, such as Primordial Sea and Inteleon. I didn't feature the Terrakion in Azelf. I did have them on an early build, but they just weren't as good. So I also have Regenerator Garchomp. We have Sheer Force Lele, which ended up being the Psychic type that took over the Azelf role, because Sheer Force Lele was just a lot more destructive, and Coco, which I replaced with Terrakion because Coco was just a better fast option that the team needed. So we're pretty high on the ladder as far as almost any ability goes, albeit we're just outside of top 500, but I think we're at like actually we just bubbled out of 1400. As far as my opponent's lead, I think they probably don't have a Garchomp or Ferrothorn, so I'm going to lead off with Inteleon here. I think it should be a good lead to at least pivot out on Ferrothorn this turn, because it's probably Flash Fire Fight, I guess. That's what I've typically been seeing a lot when I've been playing this tier. So we're gonna U-turn here, and we're still gonna go into Talonflame, but I'm just gonna Brave Bird it. I'm not gonna go for Flare Blitz, because most likely, again, this is Flash Fire Ferrothorn. So we're gonna go for Brave Bird here. They're only switching to this is Heatran, which I'm fine if they want to go into Heatran here. My Garchomp's actually a really amazing Heatran switch in, so I'll definitely take that. They're actually going into Goodra, which is a Drought Goodra. I'm fine with this, because honestly, I should just Brave Bird this again. They don't really have a Brave Bird switch in that set. It's out of Heatran. I wonder if they're Chlorophyll. That would make a lot of sense, actually, weirdly enough. Knowing they're Chlorophyll Heatran, I'm definitely going to actually go into Inteleon here first, just to clear the sun, because I don't want this thing keeping up a sun boost. And yeah, there we go. Okay. So from here, I'm just going to click Weather Ball, because Specs Weather Ball should still do around 40 to Ferrothorn. They're actually going to go right into Garchomp, which is also really good for me. And from here, again, their only real switch into this is Ferrothorn, which they probably wanted to preserve HP on. To be fair, I am choiced, so they quit that game rather quick. Realistically, I would have probably just went to Talonflame and just started Brave Birding stuff until Heatran died. The combination of Heatran and of Talonflame, Inteleon, and Garchomp should have won this game fine either way. But regardless, though, let's see who else we could take on. 1-0 for the day. Very quick game one, to say the least, but sometimes these game ones just happen. I'm gonna hope that we can keep up the winning streak. My goal is 1500s, but at the same time, I'm also recording this at like midnight, which to give a little bit of breaking the fourth wall perspective here, is several hours later than I've been up the past few days. I got distracted talking to Matt, actually, and that's why today's video is not a Series 13 vid. This was gonna go up on Saturday. I'm just gonna record the VGC Series 13 vid on Saturday, though, because I didn't finish testing a team that I wanted to, so I'm not really confident in recording that Battle Spot vid. This team that I tested a lot on my days off, so I should be plenty fine to ladder this one with some good success. I'm not too worried about this team doing well, because I know it will. But I'm gonna cut right here while I'm waiting to find another game, because these games have been taking a bit of time to find when I've been laddering in my off time, to say the least. Okay, and we get into our next game. As far as the team goes, this is probably a Wandering Spirit Corviknight. I've seen a lot of these with the Rocky Helmet. It's probably going to be, ironically, one of their talent checks. The other one, of course, being Swampert, which is probably Sapsipper. Very interesting team at the very least. I'm kind of curious on what their lead is going to be. I think my lead is always Inteleon here, because their team does not really have a great switch into Water Spout outside of Blissey and Ferrothorn, both of which just get pivoted out on very quickly into Talonflame. Talonflame is always my Blissey check, actually, and this team is really amazing at checking Blissey, I found, because typically they'll go for Seismic Toss, which I recover up on, or they'll go for Toxic, which I don't take damage from. Blisseys don't really run coverage for Talonflame, because it's just not a Pokemon they're typically handling. If I had to guess, their Silvaldi's either probably their check, their Helmet Corviknight, and they're trying to Wandering Spirit me into taking a bunch of recoil from Flare Blitz's Helmet, etc. Or I think I said Scarf Terrakion already, or they're probably going to check me with Swampert. But Blissey Ferrothorn should be completely ransacked by Talonflame, which will be really useful for later on. We do see that Terrakion does actually lead off here. As far as what I want to do here, I'm actually just going to go right into Garchomp. I know in theory I could beat this Pokemon, but I'd rather it... Okay, so they actually just switch anyway, which is fine too. This also doesn't really matter a lot, because the goal is really just making sure that we don't let a Sash Terrakion for some reason beat me. I'm going to definitely go for Talonflame hard here because I don't want them going for a Toxic and letting my Garchomp get poisoned. I'd rather keep this healthy for Terrakion because it's a really good switch in for it. But we do see that they go for the Toxic here. Again, doesn't really matter a lot. I'm going to go for Flare Blitz because until we know for a fact this is Wandering Spirit Corviknight, I have no reason actually to not click Flare Blitz here. They're going to go into Swampert, which I don't really mind a lot actually. The Flare Blitz crit does a lot, and we do get the burn anyway, which is actually really fucking lucky for us. But we don't actually kill with the next one. We would kill after the burn, to be fair, but we don't kill outright. So I'm going to U-turn here actually, and I'm going to U-turn into Zarude. And now I know I mentioned in the beginning of this is probably going to be a Sap Sipper Swampert. They flip turn anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I was going to say I was going to actually click Band-Aid Lariat here, because Band-Aid Lariat would be an amazing way around this. I'm going to still click Band-Aid Lariat actually, because I think that Corviknight's probably either going to click U-turn, which so be it. I'm not huge. No. I'm actually going to go Garchomp here. I want to see what they're going to click this turn, because they're probably going to click Iron Defense or U-turn. Okay, and I couldn't really risk the 50-50, because if they clicked Iron Defense, I could just go right back out afterwards into Zarude, or I could just Dragon Tail and bring in Zarude later on, which would have been really good. But I couldn't really justify going hard Zarude on the U-turn, because that would be really bad, or more so leaving Zarude in on the U-turn, because this is a good response to Terrakion, to be fair, if Garchomp gets overpressured. As far as my play this turn though, I'm just going to go right into Talonflame, because again, we have yet to see the logic of if this is Flash Fire Ferrothorn, and until I know for certain, my play is always to click Flare Blitz, because Ferrothorn doesn't gain anything by getting the Flash Fire boost, it's just a passive turn, but I still beat Ferrothorn anyway. So my play is always just to go for the Brave Bird now at the very least, because their switch-ins to flying still kind of suck. And even if Corviknight does come in and I get a resisted hit off, I'm not too concerned with that. But I'm just going to click Brave Bird again and just kill the Swampert. So Swampert's gone. That's really huge for Coco actually. The Terrakion is probably Scarfed. I can't imagine this thing would have come in like that if it wasn't Scarfed. So I'm just going to go right into Garchomp here, still take Helmet, and I'm going to regen this back later anyway. They're going to go for CC. Okay. I think I kind of just let Garchomp go down here then. If they're going to kill me, so be it. They're down -2. And if they are Scarfed, that's still really good for me, because I can actually just bring in Lele, which is a 4x resist. And while I do obviously have to worry about if this isn't Scarfed, it's probably Scarfed. So I'm going to click Focus Blast here. Their whole team doesn't like switching in on this, and it's sheer force boosted too. They're going to sadly take the hit with Blissey. That's fine. I just go right into Talonflame here, and then I click Brave Bird, because their only switch-in is... Actually, I click Roost. And I'm going to see if they bring in Corviknight first, which they don't seem to, thankfully, which is really good in itself, because I just go for a Brave Bird this turn. Blissey takes like half from this. And then from here, I'm going to go for a Roost. If Blissey goes for a soft build, I don't mind that. I mind much more losing Talonflame. So this does kind of lead me to believe this is a Wandering Spirit Corviknight. At the same time, though, this isn't Rocky Helmet, so I'm not going to take a ton of recoil. So I can actually go for a Flare Blitz this turn and just take it out. This wasn't actually Wandering Spirit. What the fuck was that then? I'm really genuinely actually confused by that, because I feel like that play makes no sense if they're not Wandering Spirit. But regardless, I'm actually going to sack Inteleon here. I know I mentioned that Inteleon was really good at pressuring his team, but it's not really useful at this point. I've killed a lot of the mons I would have brought it for. And now I just go right into Zarude, and I'm actually going to click a Banded Close Combat. Now, to be fair, I know that Terrakion does outpace me, but this is mostly to actually gauge the speed tier. Because if this isn't Scarfed, I actually just go right back into Talonflame and I Brave Bird it next turn, and that doesn't really matter that it came in. But if it's Scarfed though, it's switching out, and they switch out to Savali Fairy. That's their Savali type. Still decent damage if nothing else. We see that this is still RKS system, because otherwise it couldn't have actually become Savali Fairy. So that's good information though. I can go right into Talonflame on this. If they Parting Shot, so be it. If they do in fact Parting Shot, that's fine. They're still taking rocks damage with Terrakion, and at this point they do kind of need to go. They're probably gonna lose. Well, they're probably not gonna get off a ton of damage with Terrakion. Nope, never mind. Oh, I think that might be Skill Link. I wonder if they're Scarf Skill Link. Okay, well, regardless though, I just go into Zarude, and I'm just gonna click Grassy Glide here. Ferrothorn comes in, that's fine. I don't really mind this actually. Okay. So I'm gonna go. I think I kind of need to go into town. No, I'm kind of curious. Do I want to actually stay in? No, because he's going to body press me. I'm actually going to go into Coco here and get my burn up, because they're switching to this would actually be pretty terrible. And we see the Silvally Fairy does come in here. That's beautiful because I'm going to get my Guts boost off with Pixelate Flame Orb. And this should be some amazing damage at this point. Just for icing on the cake, because I don't actually want them bringing in Ferrothorn hard, I'm going to go for a Taunt here, because that's going to stop their parting shot and mean they have to swap out. They're actually just going to multi-attack Raw, the fucking demon. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to go for Facade here. This should still basically KO. They're going to take me out. Not too concerning, albeit I should have probably just Raw Facaded twice. But it is what it is. I'm just going to go for a Brave Bird this turn. Because Zarude should... Oh, actually, they're going to sack the Blissey anyway. That's really good for me. Because now that Blissey's out of the picture, I can just U-turn on it. And I could bring in Zarude. And now Zarude is a very free turn, because no matter what Pokemon I go into, I'm gaining something. Because I don't need to actually play around the Switch anymore. I just go for Grassy Glide here. Because... Actually, no, I go for U-turn here. No, I go for Grassy Glide here. Because if Ferrothorn comes in, so be it. I don't mind Ferrothorn coming in. If they switch aggressively around that into Terrakion, GG, they win. But just one of those things I kind of need to... No, actually, we still don't have a guarantee if Terrakion is or isn't Scarfed. I'm actually just going to click Grassy Glide again. If they go hard Terrakion, we win the game off of it. Because... Oh, they go into Silvally Fairy. That's still really good for me, because it's the one that could weaken my attack, potentially. So from here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into Talonflame on this, because I think that realistically, they're going to go hard into Ferrothorn or Sack. They're going to go for the parting shot. Okay, so they're going to go Terrakion. So at this point, I do kind of just need to let this go down, which it is what it is. Silvally dies to rocks at this point, so I could just click CC in theory, which is really useful. This isn't actually Scarfed anyway. Okay. So then at that point, and yeah, I kind of just, fuck. I'm a little upset, but it is what it is. Maybe they're a really slow Terrakion and I can get away with, no, I have to click Glide, which means I lose to Ferrothorn. I'm going to click CC. Oh, this is regen. What the fuck? Silvally types work like that? I mean, bans still worked either way. They're going to bring in their Terrakion and they're going to outpace and win. So it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but sometimes it just happens to choice mons. Maybe I should have sacked Zarude instead of Inteleon. But hindsight is what it is. We're 1-1 for the day, so I'll still take that. It's still a really good game, to be honest. Even though I lost, it was still a really good game. I just think that I picked my sack incorrectly, in all honesty, but again, sometimes these just happen. Okay, so next we move on to this next team. This is actually a standard team, and I do recognize it. I know for a fact this is Wandering Spirit Corviknight, and I know for a fact this is Banded Zarude. Terrakion and Azelf Core. This should be a Scarfed Expanding Force Azelf, and this should be a Laser Focused Terrakion. Mostly because, again, I recognize the core. That was actually the same two sets I had on this team before. And, well, albeit I didn't run this team, but it's the same two sets I had on my team I was running before. As far as what I'm going to lead here, I'm definitely going to end off with Garchomp. Garchomp is such an amazing lead against most of this team. And, of course, oh no, they're Tough Claws. They're Tough Claws Zarude on this team. Still really not good for me, but it's a whole different ballpark. I'm definitely going to go for Stealth Rocks, though. I kind of just need to sack Garchomp. But it is what it is. I could also maybe dodge, which would be amazing if I do. Actually, no, I'm just going to go for Talonflame because they're banded. And I know they're banded on this team because, again, I know the team. And I'm going to go for a U-turn here because they're going to switch. And I can just bring in from here. I can go right into Lele, actually. And Lele is amazing at this point because their switches to Lele are pretty terrible. I'm going to go for Energy Ball. When they bring in the Chansey, actually, I'm going to go for Focus Blast. And they're going to stay in, actually, which is, I'm fine with this, actually. I'm just going to like Moonblast at this point because if they go into Chansey hard, I don't mind entirely. Chansey gets still pretty beaten by Talonflame, so I'll take that. And they're probably not going to aggressively double from here. I'd be genuinely shocked if they aggressively double from here. But my plan is just to recover up in this so I can make itself as Zarude switching again, especially if they do go for any sort of priority move or like a Darkest Lariat. They're going to go into for the Thunder Wave. God fucking damn it. This is like the most annoying status to clicked. But we're going to click Flare Blitz here though. Flare Blitz should, well, I'll still outpace the Swampert. So I'm actually going to click, I'm going to click Brave Bird here. I'm just going to kill. They're going to switch. God fucking damn it. They're Intimidate Corviknight, actually. That's good information. They're not Helmet. They're Leftovers. Okay, so Corviknight actually shouldn't do anything to me. I could just, oh, they're Regen Pert. That's why they're making this play. Okay. So we got the burn at the very least. It's really good. I'm just going to go for a Brave Bird here. They should get some good damage off. If they've Regen out, that's fine. They're still basically at a net neutral for what they started at, and they're also burned now. When they go into, they should just go into Tracheon here and they're gonna go into Corviknight. Why are they going Corviknight? Oh, I guess they're trying to drop my attack. Okay, well, that's fine too. I'm gonna go for Flare Blitz this turn and I'll U-turn afterwards. Because we can still potentially burn the Corviknight, which is really good. Okay, so Corviknight's definitely going for a Roost here. I will U-turn on this, and I'm gonna go into Tapu Lele here. Because from here I can just click a Thunderbolt. They're probably not gonna go hard Swampert here. They're gonna probably go Chansey or stay in a Corviknight. And either one is beneficial. They're gonna go into Chansey, that's fine. I can from here just bring back in, I don't know if I want to bring back in Talonflame. Maybe I'm gonna go into Garchomp. Because I want to reset my rocks. The rocks were really fucking useful. Just keeping up rocks in general is probably in my best interest. So I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna go for Stealth Rocks here. I'm gonna get them back up. They're gonna go into Azelf here. So now I'm in a little bit of a predicament. My best play is probably just going into Lele here. Albeit they're gonna do a ton of damage to me with Expanding Force, but I needed to make sure they were locking into this. So I can go into Zarude here because I know this is a Scarface Elf. I know this set. And we're immune to that. And we actually get a momentum on this now. So what I'm actually gonna do here, I'm going to click Darkest Lariat because this should account for Corviknight coming in. And it should be some really good damage in general with the Choice Band. They did no fucking damage. Oh my god. This Mons could actually be a nightmare to kill, but I think I'm gonna need to use Inteleon to take it out, which is fine. Lele's become a liability though. I'm gonna sack it. And then I'm gonna from there. Okay, so they're gonna defog away terrain, that's fine. I'm gonna click Focus Blast. Even if Corviknight stays in, that's fine. And it should be some good damage off on Chansey, if nothing else. Which this is actually a really good exchange for me. Because I can go right into Zarude from here, and I can just go for a U-turn. They're going to definitely be bringing in Corviknight, which I'm fine with them doing. Because from here, I can bring in Inteleon. And now they need to find a Weather Ball switch in is their issue. So this Weather Ball should be fucking amazing. They don't really actually have a good switch into that, because even Zarude should take a good like 60, and that still also risks U-turn, which is a good amount of damage. So Regen Chansey. Oh my god, I thought I couldn't stack multiple of the same ability. Okay. So from here, I'm going to go into... So I think I'm actually going to click Weather Ball again. I think they're going to click Soft Boiled, and if they do click T-Wave, they have a chance to miss. From here, though, I am going to go into Garchomp, because they're probably going to click T-Wave at this point, or they're going to click Seismic Toss. And the Thunder Wave should be really good. I can get up Stealth Rocks again, obviously, and then... I don't know, I care most about getting up rocks. The game plan is basically just try and beat the Corviknight. So Corviknight is the issue here. I need to basically get into them choking. Okay. So they're going to probably click... I think, honestly, they're going to click U-turn this time. They saw me go into Zarude as my counterplay last time. I think they're going to go for U-turn. Which does mean I can maybe Dragon something unfavorable. Nope. Okay. Well, I still got the Azelf out of here, which is actually still really good. Just getting some good damage on that. We brought in Corviknight, which is huge. I'm going to go into Inteleon from here because they're probably going to click Defog on this turn. I'd be shocked if they didn't. And then from there, I'm going to click U-turn because Chansey's coming in and I need to just break the Chansey. I really wish I had Tracheon. This is like the one matchup it would matter. But even still, they're not going to bring Corviknight on my Coco. I highly doubt they will. So Facade should be a really good hit. Yep, and we're going to kill a Swampert. That's something at least. Just killing a piece or a potential switch in they can go for is a really good net positive, if nothing else. The Azelf is in though, and it's going to click Expanding Force. I'm going to have to go into Zarude and hope they don't click U-turn. If they click U-turn though, it's really bad for me. Fuck, they click U-turn. Okay. Definitely a very bad turn for me to say the least. But it could be worse. I'm actually going to go right into Garchomp here and let them take their Rocky Helmet damage from U-turn. So, there's at least, again, just damage on Corviknight, which is something. They're going to bring in Zarude here, and... okay, so this is where counterplay gets kind of a little annoying. But I need to go into Talonflame. I think I need to go into Talonflame and sack it. No. Actually, I think I just let my Zarude... Nope, that's not a play either. I let my Garchomp go down, in all honesty. Because, nope, Talonflame's paired, and it's not super useful against anything that's not Chansey. So I'm actually just going to sack that. Also, it burns 3 extra turns, and they miss anyway, which is actually really fucking huge for me. That miss is so game-changing for me, because now they don't overly threaten my Garchomp that well. Speaking of, I'm actually just going to go right into my Garchomp now and make this thing take Rocky Helmet damage. So between that, and also I can then switch in Talonflame, make them drop their defenses more, and then get my Garchomp back up to healthy for later. It's really good in general for me. And from here, what I can do, I can now bring in Zarude. And with Zarude, I'm going to I've not revealed Grassy Glide yet, so I'm actually just going to click Grassy Glide. They're going to go to Corviknight, that's fine. I don't overly mind this, and I can bring in Garchomp again, because we've now established that Corviknight is basically a free regen turn for Garchomp, which is really useful. They're going to go chip themselves the helmet, that's fine. They're making themselves weaker for the inevitable Inteleon sweep. So I'm going to let Garchomp go down here, I think. Yeah, I'm going to let Garchomp go down here, because Coco's really useful for the endgame, for Chansey. Well, I guess my whole team is. I'm going to let Coco go down, actually. I think like CC, that's really fine for me, too. They just kill, actually. What the fuck? Holy shit. Okay. Well, we're going to go into Zarude here. And I'll be honest, I think I'm going to click Grassy Glide again. They're going to go to Corviknight, that's fine. I don't mind this a ton. Because this turn, they're definitely going to click Roost. And I can just go right into Inteleon here. And I'm going to click U-turn on Corviknight, because I think they're probably just going to go hard into Chansey. And from there, I can bring in my own Garchomp, get it a little bit healthier. And we see this repetition again, which is fine, because I can get up Stealth Rocks, plus bring in my Garchomp, which is really decent for me. Basically, again, I just need to continue getting Hazard Chip, which is the most useful part of this. They're going to bring in their Azelf here, that's fine. I should take an Expanding Force, actually, if I remember my calcs correctly. And I do want to double check this. Expanding Force to Garchomp hit 71. Yeah, I do take one, actually. So I'm going to go for a Stone Edge here and just kill the Azelf. Oh, they fucking crit. Okay. Might matter a bit, but I don't entirely know. We're going to bring in Azelf, though. And I'm actually just going to ban in Close Combat. This should still do a good amount of damage to Corviknight, albeit there were things that did more. But it's kind of all I can really do. I need to go into Inteleon here, and they're going to bring in Chansey. I think that's where it's just going to be game over, in all honesty. They're not going to bring in Chansey. Okay, so maybe I can crit Chansey, actually. That would be my best case now, is hoping I can crit Chansey. Because if I crit Chansey, that might actually be a game changer. Albeit, I need to actually go into Zarude here, and I need to get a recovery turn up. In the basic, I need to crit a Lariat is what I need to do. I need to crit a Lariat on Corviknight, which might actually make a difference. But it's kind of all I really have at this point, because I don't actually get enough damage off, and they pair it anyway, so it's not going to really matter. I can't actually get the damage off I need. Very unfortunate. Man, if I had the Terrakion here, because that Terrakion they have does really good against their team. It's basically like a really good just offensive counter of their team, and I know it from the matchup, but I don't really have a way to actually beat Azelf anymore. It just Expanding Forces me now. And even if I kept around Zarude, it's basically a call of if I get U-turn or Expanding Force, and I don't have enough turns to make that work. So it is what it is, but I definitely just lose the match now. So they're just going to T-Wave me, that's fine. I don't know why they're just not going to Corviknight and then slow U-turning, because then they just bring in the Azelf and they just win. But I guess Teleport works too. They're just going to win the game with Terrakion, so again, that's perfectly fine. GG to my opponent. We're going to try and get one more game in, because I do think we could end off on a win. So we're gonna see what we can do from here. Again, I think that we'll be in a good position to win this next game. But good luck and fun to my opponent. They're definitely going to lead off with Web Slurpuff. My guess is they're Magic Bounce or some sort of set like that. I'm just going to lead off with Lele, I think. Lele is probably a really strong lead here. They're definitely going to be Webs, which I'm fine with. Talonflame's still really good as an endgame against their team besides Heatran, which I have Garchomp and Inteleon for. So I'm not too concerned about that either. I could have maybe let off with Coco and just went for a taunt in all honesty, but if they're Magic Bounce, it wouldn't have mattered. So I'm just going to click Moonblast here. There's Sash, which is fine by me. And from here, I'm going to click Thunderbolt, because in case they try to get cocky and overpredict, I'm still fine in that regard. They're probably going to bring in Heatran, which at this point, honestly, I think I keep Lele around for Mew. Depending on their Mew is a really deadly mon in this format, by the way, because Mew could be a lot of things. I've seen Facade sets, I've seen Skilling sets. They're all fucking terrifying. Coco did come in though, so I'm actually just going to stay in and attack, because I don't exactly have a good Coco switch in, because Coco has a lot of different things it could do around my whole team. So I'm gonna just try and break their team as much as possible, because the second I switch out Lele, it's useless. So even if that means that I let Lele just take unnecessary damage, I'm fine with this. I'm gonna go for T-Bolt though. T-Bolt should kill Mew at this point, and it also covered a Heatran switch in. Speaking of, I really thought Heatran would come in here. Okay, but I don't mind sacking Lele. This is definitely Tough Claws Zapdos. So I'm gonna bring in my Talonflame here, and I'm just going to click U-turn. They're not staying in this turn, And even if they do, I just go right into Coco, and Coco just sacks, because I don't need my Coco. If they go for Brave Bird, yeah, it's honestly perfectly fine. They're taking too much recoil anyway. But I just let this mon go down, because we know that Talonflame outpaces now. And again, I'm not sure why they didn't just go Heatran, but fine by me. I'm going to click Flare Blitz, because they're probably not Flame Body Flash Fire Heatran. I highly doubt they are. But from here, they're probably going to bring in, basically the way the rest of this game is going to go, they're going to probably bring in Coco. And when they bring a Coco, I'm now going to sack Inteleon, because my most useful Heatran check is Garchomp. And then to a degree Talonflame, but not overly. They're going to bring in Heatran here, which actually means that, oh, they're Desolate Land. Okay, so it's definitely not this. I'm going to go for Weather Ball. They're going to go for Eruption here, which is fine. I go into Garchomp and I click Earthquake, because Eruption should not actually take me out. If it does take me out, then GG, I miscalced, but I'm fairly certain I know this outcome, and I should be fine to just Earthquake. Their Earthquake switch-ins are not great, and even if it means I lose Garchomp to Mamoswine, so be it. But now that Heatran's gone, I basically just win the game with Zarude, because they don't actually have a good Glide check, is their issue here. So they're Facade Coco, which means they're definitely Flame Orb on this set. Yep, okay, that's fine, because I bring in Zarude here, and I click Glide. If they do take the hit, though, they win, but I highly doubt they take a Bandit Glide in terrain. Yeah, okay, and this should just kill Mamo, too. Albeit Mamo could Shard, and that could be kind of scary, but it doesn't really kill, so I'm not too concerned. But, okay, so how quick was this game? I'm going to go for one more, actually. Why not? We'll go for one final game. We're 2-2 right now, so hopefully we can end off on a positive. This looks like it's Regen Finny for sure. Expanding Force, Scarf, Azelf is really the only set they run. Tough Claw, Zapdos. I'm not sure what Mence runs. I think that Blissey runs Magic Bounce or Regen. I'm not too sure. But this looks like a pretty fodder team for... It's a pretty fodder team for Zarude, in all honesty. As long as I kill the... I just need to kill the Salamence, which should be easy, actually. Lele plus Zarude should be really good against this team. I'm going to lead off with Talonflame, though. I think Talonflame is a decent lead. I think they're going to lead off with Ferrothorn, or I guess Azelf is their lead here. Okay, so I do just kind of have to go hard Zarude, and if they go for U-turn, I know I take a hit, but I need to hope they don't. That's really what I need to hope for. Expanding Force, okay, beautiful. So from here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to click U-turn, and I just need to keep momentum up. Even if they stay in with Azelf, it's fine, but my goal is just to keep momentum going. So now that they've brought in Zapdos, I bring in Talonflame, and I just go for Brave Bird. Because their Brave Bird switch on this team does not exist. They have actually no Brave Bird counterplay in this whole team. Because even Ferrothorn, even if it's Rocky Helmet, isn't going to really do damage to me. I do have the luxury, thankfully, to scout for this, being Flash Fire. It's commonly Flash Fire, but it's always worthwhile to check for that. Because I don't really lose anything actually checking for Flash Fire. Because if they're not Flash Fire for some reason, maybe they're like Rough Skin, or maybe they're, I don't fucking know. The point being is whatever item they are, if it's not Flash Fire, or ability there, I should say, if it's not Flash Fire, I don't care about it, because Talon just kills it. It's 5v6. So I'm going to go for another Roost here, and then I'm going to go for Brave Bird. I will say that losing my Life Orb is actually really annoying, but it's not a huge deal breaker, because we're still going to make profitable damage on this anyway, albeit it's not as much, but it's something. And their spikes don't really matter a ton, because I don't need to do a ton of switching in this game, actually. I just need Talonflame in, and Talonflame, even without Life Orb, will do enough. Albeit it's no longer a great Blissey counter, but Zarude should still do the job fine, actually, so I'm not too concerned anyway. We're going to go for one more Brave Bird here, and Blissey's actually going to come in here. Okay, so that's also fine, because Blissey now has to click a Soft Boil this turn, or I kill their Blissey, which is also actually fine by me. If they're not Regen, that's great. They're going to bring in Azelf, though. I'm going to go hard. Oh, no, I'm actually going to let Talon go down. They click U-turn, yeah, predicting the Zarude, that's fine. They no longer have a switch in. And if I switch in Zarude here, between that and the spikes, that would have been nearly a death sentence. Whereas with Finny, though, I mean, I'm fine against this. I'm actually going to U-turn on Finny. And we're going to go into Zarude on Finny, because they're not clicking a Fairy move raw. They're probably going to click Scald, if I had to guess. It's probably Scald, yep. Okay. So I'm fine with this. I'm going to... I think I'm going to click U-turn here, because even if Ferrothorn comes in, I'm still getting off good damage. And we know it's Flash Fire and it's not Rocky Helmet, so I'm actually fine with this outcome too. And Band should do a lot, yeah. So we now put this in Brave Bird range. So they're basically picking a sack to Talonflame guaranteed here, which is great, because even the 25% Talonflame is now going to do a ton. They're going to go for Finny. We know for a fact it's regen now, which is great. Again, I just click U-turn here. This time, though, I'm not bringing in Zarude. I'm actually going to bring in Coco, and I'm going to try and pop my Flame Orb. I don't want to risk Zarude getting Scaldborn or them predicting with Moonblast, which we do see them predict with Moonblast, which is fine by me. My play here is always just click Facade. Even if Ferrothorn comes in, I'm still getting off enough damage, and it's not a contact move anymore, or more so a contact threatening mon. So I don't really risk Ferrothorn like having Iron Barbs or Rocky Helmet. So their Fairy Switching is negligible at this point. It really doesn't actually phase me. They are going Azelf here though, which Azelf here is a problem. My Coco is too low to really mind though, so I'm actually just going to see what Azelf clicks. They're going to go for U-turn here. I'm not sure why they did that, because unless they're planning to click removal, that was actually only a bad play for them. But, oh, they're Helmet Finny. Okay, well, even still, it's kind of a weird play. We'll bring in Lele though, because if we look at their team actually, and we look at Lele, I get an absurdly free Thunderbolt here, because even if Blissey comes in, and even if it is regen, I can click Focus Blast next turn and take this out. So I'm actually really okay with this. If they go into Finny, so be it. I T-Bolt it next turn, and I'm actually fine. So Blissey is now gone. That means my Talonflame dependency is pretty much non-existent. It's still convenient, to be fair. Again, they don't really have a good flying check, but I don't need Talonflame alive anymore. So I'm pretty okay with just letting... I mean, on Zapdos, to be fair, I always just go Garchomp. I don't even need to try and like over-predict in this one. It's always Garchomp. It's my only mon I actually care about bringing in Garchomp for. So even if it kills, I'm fine with that. From here, though, we do just go into Talonflame, and I do just click Brave Bird. If this is Scarf, that's fine. It's information I do need, though, to play around it. They're going to go to Finny here. I don't really mind this because I don't take damage from Finny like that. And I can just U-turn here. We're going to bring in... We're going to bring in Zarude. Because realistically, this is the mon I now bring in Zarude on. They're going to go for Scald, so be it. I don't mind this a ton. From here, I'm going to click U-turn. They have two flying types they're probably going to go into, and they're probably going to regen with Finny. They don't go into either. Okay, so that's really bad, actually. Because I think that now I lose my Zarude. Okay, so I go into Lele here. I think I just let Lele go down, which is a little unfortunate about Lele going down, too. I guess we don't let Lele go down, but they're still going to get a Spit Shop on this, which is still really bad. But Moonblast should still do a ton of damage to this. So they're going to need to either sack Finny, which means I don't need Zarude around anymore, actually, which is good in itself. Oh, they're going to actually sack Azelf. What? Are they going to really sack Azelf like that? That's also really good for me. Actually, I think I lose anyway, because Zarude just dies. What am I saying? Yeah, I just lose anyway. Because I can't beat this if it's Scarfed. Yeah, I can't beat it. We're going to bring in Inteleon, though, and I'm just going to click... I'm gonna click Ice Beam here. Even if Finny comes in, I don't actually mind that, because at that point, I'm still Specs, and I'm still gonna have damage. We got the Freeze. They're gonna thaw with Scald anyway, though. So my play is always just go into Zarude and let that go down, sadly. It is what it is, but I kind of played that a little bad, I'll be honest. I shouldn't have let Zarude take that much damage. We're gonna go into Inteleon, though, and we're gonna show off just, I guess, the Specs Weather Ball, because it's gonna do a ton of fucking damage to this Pokemon, even as a resist. But in theory, they should just bring in Azelf and win the game. If they're not Scarf Azelf, then they kind of choked. Still, my play is always click Weather Ball here. It should do a ton to Finny. Yeah, 42% to resist. Primordial DLC is broken. If I crit this, I might actually have an out if that's not Scarf Azelf. But, yeah, okay, so they just win. Okay, is what it is. I don't have a win con anymore. So I just click Brave Bird, I guess. And they just bring in Azelf, and Azelf should just win, because it just clicks Expanding Force. And if it's not Scarf, then I guess yeah, okay. So it's always Scarfed. It's always Scarfed. Regardless, so the team still did not bad. We're decently high in the ladder, and we've been playing people that are over our rating. Like, this person was 200 over our rating, so we'll take that. It is what it is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, leave a like below, and let me know what other metas you want to see next. Shouts to our channel members being Z0, Josh K Ultra Player, and Mia. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you guys want to become channel members, link down below. You can support the channel for just a couple dollars a month, or just click the Discord and Twitter links. Those are free ways to support the channel if you're not already subscribed and liking the videos and commenting, etc. There are other free ways to support the video. But with that said, I will see you guys later. Until then, peace out, guys.